Hey there, Leo. Welcome to your reading for the week of May 8th. This week, we are just going to jump right in here. I'm going to be looking at your current general energies in this first row. You have this Lightning card and the Strength card and the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Swords. Clearly, there could be something that is kind of lighting up in your life here. For some of you, this could be like the birth of something new is what I'm getting on the Page of Swords. You know, this isn't necessarily accurate tarot, but sometimes I feel that the Page of Swords can represent like a child. You know, it can represent children, or you know, it can represent just like a new beginning. And we actually see a lot of new beginning stuff here, like Six of Swords going across calmer shores, Ace of Pentacles, a new opportunity. The Four of Wands can represent marriage, and there's no doubt some of you could be getting married, but or meeting a person that you will marry. But the Four of Wands can also represent completion. You know, it can just say that you're completing one thing and going on to the next. So, you know, if you're completing a project or a stage of life or something like that, it would make perfect sense that you would have the Four of Wands. It also kind of makes perfect sense that you go to the Five of Pentacles. It's like sometimes when we complete something, I feel like, you know, it's like, I'm sure you've heard like, you know, people who have retired, you know, sometimes they retire and then they get lost. They like don't know what to do with themselves. And, you know, sometimes I feel like if we complete a big project, we can feel very similar. Or if we, like, quit a job, or if we're, you know, moving on from a relationship or something. And so I kind of get that feeling of loss here. But it's not really, like, this is not a bad loss, is what I would say. Again, it's like retirement. Is retirement bad? I'm like, if you do nothing, then maybe, you know. But if you start doing something with your time, then probably not. Probably feels great, right? So you have this Lightning card. I feel like you're getting this, like, spark of inspiration. You know, we are, I believe, in a very inspirational time. I like basically beg people at this point to follow their inspirations, and you know, mostly the only thing people do is constantly leave me comments about how I repeat myself saying follow your inspirations, and that's all I talk about. And so yeah, damn straight. Let's get one thing straight. The one thing that I will continue to talk about is following your inspirations, and I will not stop, because again, it's probably like the best thing that you could possibly do. And you know, your inspirations might not make a lot of sense right now, but whatever you feel inspired to do, I would do it. It could be doing something new. Could have to do with experimenting, which I talk a lot about right now. Number one, Mercury retrograde, probably the best time you could experiment. Number two, we have Pluto in Aquarius. Going to be an amazing time for people who experiment. So, you know, that's what I'll say there. You have the Strength card. This is you showing up in a very strong position. So I do feel like you're kind of like showing up in a position of power and strength this week. It's allowing you to just get things done, is what I'm feeling. You also have the Ten of Pentacles. I kind of feel like this is how you feel. This week is the Ten of Pentacles. I'm not suggesting that you feel like super wealthy or anything. Maybe you do, but I kind of feel like some of you are just feeling like things are coming together, or maybe you feel like you're able to grow the things that you want, because you have this Corn card over here, which is like a card of abundance. And you also have 2 sixes here as well. 2 sixes to me in the tarot is confirmation for your path. It basically says that whatever you're doing is the right decision. Whatever you're doing, you're going in the right direction. So it's like confirmation, especially if they show up in a row or a column or right next to each other. You have 2 sixes here. So that is definite confirmation for the choices that you're making. Some of you, again, it's like I kind of get that feeling of like making a decision and wondering if you made the right decision right here. I'm not getting any of the traditional like Five of Pentacles stuff. You know, I'm just getting more of this like story of wondering if I made the right decision. And I feel like this reading is saying, yes, you made the right decision. If you walked away from a person, if you quit a job, if you are moving, if you're thinking about doing something big, I feel like this whole reading is just confirmation, probably for a new beginning with the Page of Swords. I feel like this is saying going this way here clearly is again confirmation this way as well. The Knight of Cups doesn't have to be love. It could just be you know, it can just be like a dream. He's normally looking into that cup, dreaming of or imagining or scrying really what he wants his future life to look like, or whatever he wants to create. So I kind of feel like you're in this, you know, this is just major confirmation. I feel like that Page of Swords is a new beginning that you're thinking about, or again, I just gave you a million examples on the Five of Pentacles. Could be something that you walked away from. I feel like the Page of Swords, strangely enough, I also feel is confirmation that you know everything you need to know. You know, he's like the true detective of the tarot. He really looks into things that he's interested in. He really tries to, you know, figure things out. And I feel like this is saying, like, you know enough to move in new directions. With the Strength card, you have the Two of Pentacles. I feel like this is like the next 6 months of your life, basically. I mean, I feel like you are going to be very busy. You are going to have a lot going on. You are probably going to have a lot on your plate. You specifically, by the way, Leo. And so, but the beautiful thing is, I feel like you can more than handle it. I actually feel like you're going to feel very accomplished. I see you feeling more accomplished than you have in a long time. With that Ten of Pentacles, you have the Hierophant here. There is something here about marriage. You are the only sign that consistently gets a story of marriage or getting married. So if you have love, to me, the Ten of Pentacles is the best love card in the deck. So if you're in love with a person, probably the person you're going to marry. If you are meeting a new person, probably the person you're going to marry is what I would say there. With the Page of Swords, you have the Knight of Cups. Yes, there could be someone who that you're spying on, or they're spying on you. Take it how it resonates. Could be any sign. Earth and air really stand out to me. You also have a little bit of water here, so could be basic. I just listed off basically every single sign. So whatever I would say, Leo, could be any sign, but definitely could be love coming in for you. Next, in the area of what you need to hear right now, you have the Nine of Pentacles. Kind of weird as well, because I'm getting like holy trifecta or something like that is popping into my head. I feel like this is talking about health, wealth, and happiness, but I feel like it's saying, hey, your energy is going to be like spread out very much over these next few months. And I feel like it's saying that you should put like health, wealth, happiness at the top of your list of things that you focus on. Because again, I just see you being very busy. I know this is a weekly reading, but for whatever reason, it's popping into my head that this is going to be something that you're going to be doing for like the next few months, being very busy. And, I kind of feel like it's encouraging you to make sure that you take enough time for yourself. But I think you need to focus, like I said, on the big three there: health, wealth, happiness. And with wealth, I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about, any form of abundance, anything that makes you feel abundant as well. And also, our wealth is in our health is in our wealth, and vice versa. So, I kind of feel that this is saying make sure to not only take care of yourself, but also your environment, like the things around you. I think if your house is a mess, for example, I think it's going to drive you crazy. It's probably going to take up too much brain space. So the Nine of Pentacles can be a card of like the things around us, and that's what I would focus on here. You have the Six of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Four of Wands. I feel like you're moving on to calmer shores. Definitely some big improvements coming in for you here with the Six of Swords. So I see a lot of success with this card, because I feel like you're moving in the right direction. And again, really, it's, I know it sounds lame, but I just feel like this is confirmation. I do see some pretty big changes. Again, mark my words, Leo, out of all the signs, I think that, probably by the end of this year, you are probably, come back to this reading and let me know. Because I feel like some of you, even if you have like an established business or an established career, for example, I see things changing for you completely, by the time we get to the end of the year. So there could be some pretty big changes in regards to work or business, but I feel like these are obviously positive changes. They are going to lead to like big opportunities, a lot of success, and good things. I also feel like you need to create your own opportunities here with the Ace of Pentacles, because I just feel there could be just like good opportunities that you could create. I don't really have any good examples for you, other than it's like if I were if I were to start this YouTube channel all over again, I would be like reaching out to podcasts, for example, to get interviews, because it's like it's just giving me the vibes that there could be a lot of opportunities that you're not taking advantage of. Like people contact me all the time and they're like, I want to start this business, but or I want to start this YouTube channel. How can I grow quickly? I'm like, I don't know. There's like a million things. Reach out to podcasts, get on podcasts. And, plenty of people will interview you and things like that. So, that's what I'd be looking at here, is like creating opportunity. That's just one example. There's like a million. You have the Four of Wands. Definitely could be marriage, but really I get going this way, that there's something that could be completing going in this direction. And, it could be like a project, a business, could basically be anything. But it's like you completed something, wondering if you're moving in the right direction. And I really do feel this is like confirmation that whatever decision you have made, you are definitely moving in the right direction here. So, really like to see that, Leo, but let's see what is going on for you here. With the Six of Swords, yep, you have the Chariot, moving on to calmer shores. Everybody gets a Chariot. I've never seen the Chariot so much in the readings. I really feel the Chariot is encouraging people to be unique, to be different, to come up with different ways of doing things, and to set themselves apart. Again, it's like everything is the same. Everybody's trying to do the same thing. I was thinking about this the other day, because it's like I've been working on a podcast. I stopped my podcast. I want to get a podcast going, right? And But it's like all podcasts are the same nowadays. It's like everybody does the same stuff. And, probably because it works. But it's like, how can you set yourself apart? And that's what I've been thinking a lot about. So, I feel it doesn't have to be a podcast. I'm just using that as an example. Same thing in love as well. It's like everybody's the same. It's like, how can you be different, right? With the Ace of Pentacles, you have the Lovers. Definitely love. I would say if you want love, I'm telling you right now, this is definitely a victory in a connection. If you don't, for some of you, I feel like you already have love, clearly. But if you don't, I feel like this is probably a new person. Could be an air sign, Gemini. Could be any sign. This is a general reading, but I feel like it's something that'll be very fulfilling, and I feel like it's something that you will see as a victory. With the Four of Wands, you have the Four of Pentacles. See, I think this needs to change going in this direction. You could be holding on to the past, but I just feel like you're ready for a new, victory. I feel like you're ready to kind of like have a new success or, create some sort of new success in your life. I also feel like some of you could be holding on to it's like you're holding on to an old success. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I just think you could be much more successful if you start creating new successes, right? It's kind of like, it's funny that what's popping into my head is that, it's like people who hold on to their teenage years, right? I'm sure you've all seen those people who are like adults, but still teenagers. And I'm not saying that's what you're doing. I'm just giving you an example. It's like some of you, I feel it's like you could be holding on to something that was successful. And I feel like it's time to get to the new success, basically. Next, in the unexpected, you have this Corn card. This is a card of abundance and a harvest. And so I do feel a lot of you could be having a harvest or could be experiencing some sort of harvest here. So I really like that. I feel like there is a lot of abundance coming in for you. You have the Six of Wands, Five of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups. The Six of Cups is an achievement or, success, a victory. It's also a card of standing out, and I feel like now is the time for people to stand out. Pluto and Aquarius, your opposite sign. If I were you, and I'm not, but I basically am, I would do whatever I could to, get as much attention as possible right now. It's basically what I encourage everyone to do. We're talking about positive attention, of course. We will see a lot of examples, I believe, in the world of people getting negative attention. You can already see it, I'm sure. But again, people who get positive attention are going to win. So, that's what I would do there. You have the Five of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles can represent feeling or being left out in the cold. But again, I get this energy of just, it's more like saying to me that you could be letting go of something that you've worked on for a long time, or you could be looking to work on like a new project and you're just walking away from an old one. Like I said earlier, I don't even get any of the traditional meanings here. I do feel like some of you could be worried about money a little bit, as in, if you're starting a new business or if you're getting married, you could be like wondering, how am I going to support this? How can I create this? And, all those other questions. But really, I feel, things are going to be fine for you. I think you'll be very successful. You have the Six of Cups as well. And the Six of Cups to me can, of course, represent, kind of thinking about the past. But number one, if you're attracting love, I feel like this is a new soulmate. I don't think it's a past one. I also feel that for some of you, this could be I kind of feel like this could be a turnaround. To me, the Six of Cups can be a gift from the universe. And usually the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is wherever we've been bumping up against obstacles, those obstacles could be removed. With the Six of Wands, you have the Five of Cups. Yeah, I feel like you need to stop focusing on things that didn't work in the past. It's like everything is in front of you. Not, even though this is going to sound contradictory, even though with the Five of Cups, you have to turn around. I feel like there's a lot of success coming in for you. With the Five of Pentacles, you have the Emperor here. Yeah, it's like you're taking action on new ideas, and, that's what's going to make you the most successful. And with the Six of Cups, you have the Four of Wands. Some of you could be marrying a person who makes you feel very childlike, in a good way. It's like a very playful connection, not too serious. I feel like this person, it's like they're just popping into my head that I feel like they just get it. It's like those are literally the words that are popping into my head. It's that type of person where you don't have to explain things to them, So, which I mean is pretty unusual nowadays, right? And so I feel like this person just gets it. You probably will say those words as well if you're meeting a new person, is that they just get it. They just, kind of understand things. The other thing I'm getting here is clearly if you are committing to like a new business idea, a new career idea, I feel like there's going to be a lot of success coming in for you, which we've been talking about this entire time. Next, you have this card here that I can't read that says stars on it. So I feel for a lot of you that you are kind of like a star. I feel like you could be standing out at this time with this card. This is from the Threads of Fate Empyrean Oracle, and these cards are awesome. You can see that they're like holographic animated. Full disclosure, I have a business relationship with Threads of Fate, but they're launching 3 awesome new decks down below, and feel free to check that out. But I feel like for some of you, you could be becoming a star. Maybe not literally, but in work, we see a lot of recognition here. 6 of Wands, even 10 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. It's like you're completing something. So if you've been working really hard, I feel like the name of the game is going to be, kind of like recognition and all that other stuff. It's funny as well. This card actually says Dark Star on it. And, so it's like maybe you've been in the darker. You haven't been shining your light very bright. I feel like you're coming up with new ways of kind of like standing out in your career, in your business or whatever. And again, it might be through, like I said, reaching out to podcasts. It might be through getting positive attention. The funny thing is, as well, in work or business with the 2 of Pentacles, I'm getting here that it's going to be less work than you think, or something like that. I feel like the ideas that you have should be smarter, not harder, right? I've been saying for 2 years now that we're entering into a time where it's really important that we work smarter, not harder. And I feel like that's what's going on here with the 2 of Pentacles. Is you're coming up with smarter ideas, things where there's more leverage. Let's put it that way, right? That's definitely been a focus for me personally in my businesses, is more leverage. Like, how can I leverage certain things, even like AI, right? It's like, how can I leverage that instead of complain about it? It's like, while I've seen tons of people complaining about it, and it's like, while they're complaining about it, I'm using it to make money. So, it's one of those things where I think there's, I try to encourage people and tell people, it's like, there's going to be a lot to complain about over the next like 10 years, especially, but, definitely the next 20. So it's like, you can complain about it or you can figure it out. And that's exactly what I would do with this 2 of Pentacles. You have the 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups is about being spoiled for choice, of course. I feel there are going to be a lot of opportunities coming in for you. I also feel that, again, if you are doing things like leveraging opportunities like to promote your business or to promote yourself in a career or even in love, doesn't matter. I feel there's going to be a lot, like one opportunity is going to lead to a lot more, So I feel like the more you do this, the more abundance you're creating is what I'm seeing with that card. You have the Knight of Cups. Again, if you're attracting a person, I feel like you could be attracting a very abundant person. I'm not suggesting that they're like, filthy rich, but they could be wealthy. They don't have to be. They could just be very, kind of have a lot of creative solutions to problems. They could be very they could have a lot of skills in life. Let's put it that way. Definitely popping into my head. Definitely could be a knight in shining armor. Let's see here. With the 2 of Pentacles, you have the 7 of Cups. Yeah, I feel like I really see this as like one leading to another. It's like one opportunity leads to 3. So I would start looking for these opportunities, like I said, in business, start a podcast, get on podcasts or get interviewed by the news or something like that. It's like there are plenty of examples and plenty of people who have done it. It's like people always tell me, oh, you can't just get on the news. I'm like, I just saw a story the other day about like some dude who they created some crazy law about beaches in Florida, and he basically he pranked the local news by creating this huge issue, right? It's like, trust me, there are ways to do it. And yes, you're going to have to think creatively. We're in a time where like traditional ways of doing things are not going to work anymore. That's the whole point of Neptune and Pisces. Death to tradition, basically. And that's Chris's crappy astrology. Yes, that's not necessarily accurate astrology, but it's like there are traditional ways to do things and there are like unique, new, inventive ways to do things that really I can't tell you what they are because you are the one that has to come up with them. It's like us as individuals, we're going to come up with these ideas, but we have to come up with the ideas. With the 7 of Cups, you have the Sun. Yeah, I felt really good about the 7 of Cups in your reading. I kind of go back and forth on the 7 of Cups. For the most part, I think it's a good card. To me, it can represent needing to manifest something down on Earth. The only reason I don't like it right now, sometimes, is because of Neptune and Pisces. It can be a little dreamy. Some of those ideas exist up here. We have to bring them down to Earth, but we can get lost in the fantasy, right? But overall, I feel really good about that. With the Knight of Cups, you have the Strength card. You start and end as yourself. How crazy is that, Leo? So you are in a very strong position, clearly. You could be attracting an Emperor. It could be an Aries, or it could just be an Emperor-type person. Again, I do get a boss vibe off this person. It doesn't matter what gender they are either. But you're both showing up as major arcana, so I feel you could be attracting, someone who is very, very successful and love it. We're going to pull 5 main themes now. You have this bouquet. It says compliments from an admirer. I do feel like there could be love. There's someone that I feel if you don't have love already, it's like a person, either you have your eye on them or they have their eye on you. Take how it resonates. So, it could be like a secret admirer, but, obviously this would say that there's going to be communication. You have the Sun card. It says happiness and well-being. We see a lot of happiness here. You have the Sun twice now, basically. So, I feel like you're about to be very happy. You have this Beetle card. It says good fortune. So I feel like you could be attracting a lot of wealth and good fortune, especially with your new ideas, as I've been saying. I also feel that some of you, it's like, there's like this concept of economic mass where it's like, they always say that the rich get richer, right? For example, and the reason the rich get richer is because, it's like a normal person, if we can, invest in Bitcoin, for example, we can maybe put like $100 in at a time. But it's like a rich person could just throw $1 million in. So it's like their $1 million multiplies many more times than $100, right? So, I feel like for a lot of you, I don't know why that's popping into my head, by the way, but it is. It's like, I think that economic mass applies to other things as well, like knowledge, for example. It's like you've been learning a lot, so I feel like I kind of get this feeling that it's saying like you need to make sure that you're not discounting the things that you know. There might be certain things that you know in work, business, or career that you think are obvious, but they're not. The only reason you think they're obvious is because you know a lot about whatever you do. But for somebody else, it's actually very valuable information. So there's something here about, like, I feel like maybe some of you have gained a lot of experiences, right? That's what I mean by economic mass. You've gained a lot of experience mass, right? And now I feel like those experiences are about to pay off, especially in work or career. You have this September card and this Tiger card. It says doing something risky, taking a chance. I do feel like this September you might be doing something risky. I have the word move popping into my head, so it could be a move. It could just involve travel, just in general. And for some of you, it could be love. Like you could be meeting a person in September, or maybe you go and you meet with them in September or something. Next, you have this temporary situation card. I feel like this is money worries, and I feel like a lot of you need to release those money worries that you have, because again, I feel like you're actually able to create much more wealth than you realize. For some of you, again, this could be knowledge mass, like I said, not economic mass, but you could be kind of using your knowledge to create some wealth or something like that. I don't know, pretty interesting. But this looks good. Thank you for being here, Leo, and definitely enjoy your week.